Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into something truly massive, Gallup's landmark 30-year research project on what actually creates exceptional leadership. If you've ever found yourself wondering what really separates good leaders from truly great ones, way beyond the usual corporate buzzwords, you are definitely in the right place.
It's a question we all ask, isn't it? What makes a great leader? Look, whether you are stepping up in a high-stakes boardroom, running things on a construction site, or just trying to organize the daily chaos in your own home, chances are you're going to find yourself leading at some point in your life. But what actually makes you effective when you step into those shoes?
To answer that, we're unpacking the remarkable findings from Strengths-Based Leadership, a book by Tom Rath and Barry Conchie. And hey, this isn't just a bunch of nice-sounding academic theory. This research was born from a completely staggering data set. They studied over 1 million work teams, conducted 20,000 in-depth leader interviews, and surveyed more than 10,000 followers. The sheer scale of that data is honestly mind-blowing.
To make sense of all this information, we'll quickly move through 6 key areas today: the well-rounded myth, investing in your strengths, the 4 leadership domains, building well-rounded teams, why people actually follow, and finally, leadership that lasts.
Let's start with part 1, the well-rounded myth, where we debunk traditional leadership models.
We need to aggressively challenge a deeply ingrained norm in our society right out of the gate, this whole idea of the well-rounded leader. Organizations are constantly hunting for this mythical unicorn who is a flawless communicator, a visionary thinker, and an immaculate executor all rolled into one. And sure, all those traits are necessary for a company to succeed, but here's the secret the data revealed. Striving to be competent in all areas actually breeds mediocrity. Out of all the wildly successful leaders they studied, the researchers have literally never found a single one who has world-class strength in every domain. No one.
Moving right along to part 2, investing in your strengths and the undeniable data behind employee engagement.
Let's look at the incredibly heavy empirical weight behind simply focusing on what people naturally do best. Get this. When an organization's leadership completely fails to focus on individual strengths, the odds of an employee actually being engaged in their work are a dismal 9%. 9! That is literally just 1 out of every 11 people paying attention and caring.
But watch what happens when leadership actually focuses on strengths. Engagement leaps to a massive 73%. That's almost 3 out of every 4 employees actively engaged.
This is a profound contrast. We are talking about an 8-fold increase in engagement. So a strengths-based approach isn't just some fluffy, feel-good HR tactic. This 8-fold leap directly drives the bottom line, it skyrockets productivity, and just as importantly, it completely transforms each employee's overall well-being and self-confidence.
The late Dr. Donald Clifton, the guy widely known as the father of strength psychology, summed up his decades of research with this brilliant realization. He said, a leader needs to know his strengths as a carpenter knows his tools, or as a physician knows the instruments at her disposal. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that there is no definitive one-size-fits-all checklist of characteristics for great leaders. Instead, great leaders have incredibly deep self-awareness, and they know exactly how to call on the right strength at the exact right time.
Okay, into part 3, the 4 leadership domains, where we categorize these specific leader talents.
Now, what is truly fascinating is how these unique individual strengths come together to form powerhouse groups. Gallup looked at their massive data set and clustered leadership talents into 4 distinct domains: executing, influencing, relationship building, and strategic thinking. Leaders with executing strengths, they just know how to make things happen. Influencing leaders, they're the ones who help the team reach a broader audience and sell the vision. Relationship builders are the absolute essential glue holding a team together through the hard times. And strategic thinkers keep everyone completely focused on what could be, always analyzing information to prep for the future. This gives us a highly logical framework for mapping out exactly who contributes what to a team.
Which brings us to part 4, building well-rounded teams, and how the very best ones are actually formed. This sparks a major paradigm shift when we talk about group dynamics. So we've already established that the best individual leaders are not well-rounded. But here is the reality check. The highest performing teams absolutely must be well-rounded. Instead of just one dominant leader trying to juggle everything themselves, a cohesive, winning team actively draws from a mix of strengths across all 4 of those domains we just talked about.
So how do you actually spot one of these optimized teams out in the wild? Well, Gallup noticed a few really powerful telltale traits. First off, conflict doesn't destroy them.
They focus hard on results, not petty personality clashes. Beyond that, they fiercely prioritize what's best for the organization as a whole, rallying to help each other succeed the moment a decision is made. Surprisingly, members of these teams are also highly committed to their personal lives outside of work, realizing that balanced humans simply make better teammates. And finally, they naturally partner up with people who excel in the exact areas where they themselves might struggle.
Let's dive into Part 5. Why do people follow? We're flipping the perspective entirely here.
For this core concept, we are going to flip the script completely. Most leadership advice out there misses one incredibly obvious, almost embarrassing point. You are only a leader if others actually follow you. Think about it. To explore this, Gallup surveyed over 10,000 followers, asking them to describe in their very own words exactly what the most influential leader in their life actually contributes to them.
And the followers, they responded with remarkable clarity. Without being prompted or given a list to choose from, the research showed that people fundamentally crave 4 basic pillars from anyone they look up to for guidance. First, they need trust, because without honesty and integrity, you literally have nothing. They need compassion. They need to know the leader genuinely cares about them as a human being. They need stability, a steady foundation, especially right now. And they need hope, absolute faith in where they're all heading tomorrow. If you can provide these 4 things through your own unique strengths, people won't just listen to you, they will naturally follow you.
And finally, Part 6, Leadership that Lasts, going way beyond a lifetime.
As we wrap up this explainer, let's take a step back and look at the ultimate goal here. Because the most effective leaders, they don't just win in the present moment. Reaching the level where your life's work continues in perpetuity requires not only being a strong leader yourself today, but investing deeply, genuinely in the strengths of your followers. It's about developing them to be highly effective leaders in their own right. That is how you create a lasting legacy.
So I really want to leave you with this. As you sit there and think about your own unique talents, those areas where you just naturally excel without even trying, ask yourself, how can you leverage those strengths today to build something that totally outlasts you tomorrow? Because honestly, perhaps the ultimate test of a leader is not what you do in the here and now, but what continues to grow long after you're gone.